What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot-positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClenahan, but you can call me Bam. You can call me whatever you want. Just make sure you call me. All right, guys. Well, we are thrilled to be back. I honestly can't wait to jump back in. The story's getting a little crazier than even I had anticipated. That is a sign of some good D&D. So thanks so much. Let's start off with a huge amount of appreciation and gratitude for all of our buds over in the Weed&d Hub group on Facebook, all the buds here on Twitch, 8 p.m. every Tuesday here at the Art Heart Studios page. All our buds. We're actually getting a nice little bud community over on YouTube also. So if you're catching this on YouTube, I just wanted to give you guys a special shout out. We really appreciate you catching up and hanging with us, even though you can't make it on Tuesday. It's totally fine. This week, again, I am just a humble man. I've received some lovely messages from people that have basically said they look forward to this all week. And I just want all you guys to know that so do we. This is a super special thing for all of us. It means the world that you guys take the time to be here with us, and I will never stop thanking you for it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, especially to everybody who supports the show with a sub or throwing out cheers and stuff during the show. We're turning all of that right back into the show, and we're going to keep bringing it bigger and better every single week. All right, so shoot, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Isaac, how you feeling today?
Great. Are we just going to ignore the fact that you're not wearing pants right now?
Isaac is correct. I am not wearing pants right now, but frankly, we stopped using that camera a long time ago, so you'll never know the difference unless I go like this. Nah, you can't hear it anyway. Oh, God. All right. Well, I think that's enough from us in studio. We're feeling a little weird tonight, but, that's when the good shit happens. So I'm going to bring in my absolute favorite part of this experience, this little piece of magic that we're all here a part of, and bring in the wonderful, the amazingly talented and beautiful cast of Weed&d. I'm going to do that by handing this magic joint through the powers of the internet to my dear friend, Brenna. Hey, Brenna. How you doing, girl? Yeah!
What's up, buds? And what's up, Bam? I honestly didn't know that any of us were ever wearing pants. I thought that was part of the contract, was just to never wear pants. Are you guys wearing pants? I mean, even the buds, are you guys wearing pants? Because you shouldn't be either. This is a full body experience, baby. And speaking of babies, I would like to introduce this beautiful haircut. Oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
10 out of 10. We're feeling it. It's all about it. This one is for you, Abigail. Oh, thank you. Oh, what a haircut. Me? Oh, I thought you were never going to say anything. Oh, hi. In case you didn't know, I'm Abby Dandy, a.k.a. Tynna Smooth Hands around these parts. And, we're back to life. We're back to reality. Things are not so fun anymore. I'm gonna pass this one off to Drew. See if he can make sense of things. All right.
Thanks, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, buds? Drew, Thoricus the dwarf. Man, yeah, we're not doing so hot, but we are glad to have you here with us for the no pants dance off that we are about to do with each other. We wouldn't want to do it with anyone else but you guys. And I'm going to introduce you to my dance partner. Come on in, best friend. This one's for you, bud. Let's get fucking weird.
Danke, mein bester Freund.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Weed&d, everybody. Jake Taylor once again as Rial Authorvon, who's still tripping fucking tea parts. At least I had a week to let the face muscles rest a little bit. And froze.
And froze. And froze indeed. Go ahead, yeah, pass that over. That'll be the lost episode.
Shit. What up? Appreciate that, Jake. Yo, I am Gus, Two Blunts Langley. I'm here to fuck shit up. Also, I'm wearing everyone else's pants that they're not wearing, so I'm very hot. Let's get this show started ASAP. Back over to you, Bam.
what a gorgeous, gorgeous joint that is. Whoever wrote this really knows what he's doing. It was me. All right, guys. We got a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't. But we like to take a lighter, like this one right here, that my girlfriend got for me, that says, "In pizza, we crust." Oh. All right, we like to take those lighters, hold them up in front of us, safely making sure we're not going to light our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go, lighters up. Let's play some fucking D&D, guys.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up, roll, and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Ooh, gosh, it does it to me every single time. If, you will all please allow me to set the mood. I'm very sorry. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they stood around the fallen corpse of their ally Divit, although the circumstances that led to his death are a mystery to all present. Moments before, he stood at the base of the cherry blossom tree, dancing with the fairies drawn by the magic of the Dryad's Kolt. This strange, seemingly fey magic corrupted the minds of the five, save Thoricus, who was able to resist the effects of the magic spectacle that appeared as Esmeralda, the unremarkable yet fey-touched child, approached the clearing before the Kolt. As Thoricus tried to break the others free from the insanity enchantment, he was felled by the divine Tynna Smoothhands. The sight of his bleeding, wrinkled corpse pierced the mind of Tynna, and she was granted clarity by her patron, the goddess Shantia. At last, free from the madness, she was able to use her own healing magics to revive Thoricus and return him to the land of the living once more. Now he and Tynna must deal with the still crazed Brunor and Rial. Now as for Divit, after consuming the Jubu juice and calling upon the time-stop magic that would lead to his demise, he now stands once more before the throne of death himself. Divit, you look around you, standing in the piercing darkness of this realm, which you've been in before. You see the ashen steps that lead up, 25 in number, to the great ashen and bone throne of death himself. He sits before you, still red in color. You see the bones of his skull face and arms and body all stained with this red arcane magic. He looks down upon you, unhappy. Though he has no eyes, you can feel the heaviness of his presence and his displeasure at seeing you before him.
I'm like, oh, we have got to figure out a better way to do this.
You see,
I'm like kind of fucked up the way my body is, like, ugh.
Yeah, if you recall, you fell out of the tree and landed on your neck, was like the actual blow that killed you.
I'm like,
so yeah, you kind of like, reset your neck. One of your arms still skeleton from elbow to fingertip, your right arm, so as you grab your head, you feel, you're still wearing your clothes, which is kind of a strange thing, if you consider being dead. But you still, you put your hand over on the little cap that you have that has the phoenix feather jetting out, and you hear a great pop as your bones reset into place. Death looks down upon you. You feel that darkness once again, Divit. Again, you've been in a world where the sun has been frozen in place for weeks now. You haven't been in night in some time, and you grow more and more accustomed to this place. It feels a little bit more like home than it used to. You look up as you see the robed figure of death stand from his throne. You see small tufts of ash poof out from his feet as they step upon these ashen stones that lay at his feet. Divit, what brings you here once more? Do you think my power a joke? A game to be trifled with?
No, I don't think it's a game. I don't think it's a joke. I actually appreciate the gravity of the situation, sir. I have some questions that I need to ask you, and this seems to be the only way I can get your attention.
Although you may not know it, Divit, I always watch over you. There is not a step that you take that is not tracked in my boundless mind. If you really wish to speak to me, you need not make a mockery of my power so. But, and you can see that your compliments your use of the word sir and the display you're putting on wearing on him. You see he kind of settles back. You hear the creak of his bones as he stands straight. What questions have you, since you're already here?
One, I'd like to compliment you on your gravitas. I can only wish to command a room like that one day. But all bullshit aside, it seems that there's a very serious event on the horizon. I feel something magical coming, and I feel something physical. I had a premonition of a great force, and I want to know if we're walking into a trap with this girl in this magical situation, and I want to know if we're facing certain failure in this battle to come.
This feeling, Divit, this premonition, do you really think it was you who had it? The frequency that you attune to comes to you through my acorn. You see, he draws his skeletal hand out, and as he swings his hand, you see that small acorn of power that he had seeded in you draw out of your chest. And as he moves his fingertips, it turns in the celestial darkness between he and you. And as it turns, you see small tufts of ash getting caught up in the rhythm of this wind.
I say, nay. Do not take my jest as disrespect. 'Tis the greatest part I have ever been offered, and thus far I have enjoyed studying it.
You see, as the best you can gauge a skeleton's smile, you see as the bony teeth on his face lift up. And he begins to descend the stairs. And with each step of his skeletal foot, clouds of ash blow off and just fade into this ethereal darkness all around him. And as he gets closer and closer to you, you can feel the extreme magical power of this person. This may be the most powerful thing that you've ever been around, even having just confronted, a young dragon. And as he gets closer and closer to you, you see he stands where the acorn floats basically between him and you, about equidistant between the two of you. You've grown to enjoy my power, Divit. And you see he reaches out and grabs the acorn. And he keeps walking. The heavy steps, getting closer. Until he's standing, now that he's actually up in front of you, you realize he's about 12 feet tall. And you're a little dude, Divit, so you're kind of just like looking up at this big, giant, robed red skeleton looking down upon you. And he crouches down, and you hear the creaking of his bones, and he holds the acorn right in front of your face. Is it delicious, Divit? The power of balance. The pure, eldritch energy of my power. And you see he's looking at the acorn like he's looking at a child he hasn't seen in a long time. And as it sits in his fingertips, you see him kind of caressing the outside of it. So much so that he just stops talking.
I will make whatever sacrifice you need me to make in order to protect the people I care about and to not be forgotten.
You see, he puts the acorn down and he draws in very closely. And as he does, you've got probably about 3 inches from your face. Use the smell of death and decay of rotting skin as this red skull gets closer and closer to your face. Finally, you see him draw the acorn back up. Very well, Divit. I shall move along our business and present you. You see, he holds the acorn out, and it grows in size. Even more of my power. Open up.
And I'm like, yes, let me be your herald. Rather than someone truly evil who would revel in it, I will understand the importance of the balance.
You see, with a great burst, his skeletal hand snatches your chin and holds your mouth open. And he proceeds to force this giant acorn into your mouth. And as he does, you feel these waves of dark energy just rippling through your body as this energy builds up. And you look down at the rest of the flesh on your body, and it starts to decay. All right, the rest of you, the 4, are still standing around the great cherry tree. Thoricus, you're looking at the. Sorry, let me get that track. There we go. You're looking around at quite a spectacle before you. Still standing within striking distance of Brunor the sea serpent, who seems to have her eyes fixed on you in furious battle pose. I'm sorry, let me bring. You look around and you still see, the same insane spectacle. The colorful pink grass around you and the ground itself stained with this technicolor, fantastical glow about it. You see little small green and purple mushrooms blooming around you, little tufts of silver and green grass. The purple flowing waters that surround the small island that the cherry tree sets in before the Dryad's Kolt. Again, being proficient in battle, Thoricus, you're quick to check your surroundings. Rial disappeared behind you, screaming about his hat. He's somewhere on the other side of this tree, but you can't quite gauge him. Brunor is standing, nearly 5 feet away from you as you have your back pressed against the tree. And in this moment, in kind of this strange flash, all of you feel your stomach drop, almost like you were riding in a roller coaster. As time itself, being broke, the spell of Divit, the time stop that he'd summoned through that wild magic burst, as everything comes crashing back, you kind of feel that drop in your stomach. Oh, Thoricus, you look to your left. Where once Divit stood, he now stands broken. His neck snapped, the weight of the upper part of his body completely just laying on top of his neck, where he's almost in like a 90-degree angle. Again, this happened out of nowhere. You should have seen this. You're aware of your surroundings in battle. Like, how could this have happened without you noticing? You look across from you about 15 feet, and still stands Tynna Smoothhands, your ally, another one, that's been awoken. She had just attempted to rouse Rial from this, but he managed to get away from her grasp, slippery fish that he is. So Thoricus, you kind of notice as Tynna's face drops, and she sees the crumpled frame of Divit out of the blue. You're a little worried as far as this fight is concerned. You may still be in the thick of battle. Brunor's still looking at you with malicious intent. It is your turn, Thoricus. What do you do?
What am I gonna do? That is a very good question.
So also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. So you again, with where you're at, you have your back against this tree, and you can again feel almost a heartbeat beating through the bark of the tree, and there's like strange movement, like veins underneath. You have your back pressed against it as to protect yourself from a flanked attack. Across the river, you see the giant crocodile Brian, Brunor's mount, and so you see him right at the base of the feet of Esmeralda, who has now completely crossed the 2 rivers. And so she stands on the other side. You see, she kind of seems to be continuing to walk forward as if drawn toward the Dryad's Kolt. So, sorry, that was just a piece I forgot to mention.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for the information. Yes.
And I had forgotten one other thing. Divit, before you did your time stop, you actually hung a couple potions in the air. And
Indeed.
so we're gonna, because nothing moved, we have one potion you had held over the wound on the tree, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the other two potions, where had you put those? I'm sorry, I didn't get clarification on that. That was my fault.
So, when I was standing there with the one that I had just floated,
Yeah.
I just took the other two and went.
Okay. All right, so we're going to just do this on a percentile here. There's a percentile chance that it's going to hit one of your allies or a foe. We're just going to do a D100. Friend is, you go ahead and pick, Gus. Is friend high or low?
Hi.
Hell
Hi,
yeah,
Dave.
friends are high.
Here we go. Nice, 77. So that's high. Thoricus leaning against the base of the tree makes the most sense. Nice, a 77. We're coming at you from Vegas, so we like to roll those hot sevens around these parts. So yes, go ahead, Thoricus, receive the benefit of a healing potion, 2d4 plus 2, whichever one of you guys wants to roll that. Just go ahead and do that and add the hit points. But yeah, Thoricus, as you're sitting there, kind of baffled again at the sight of things around you, you feel this as something kind of falls on your head, and this magical liquid pours down the back of your clothes. You kind of feel like ooh down your spine as this liquid pours down, but you feel it, surge. So nice roll. That's almost max. 7 plus 2 is 9, so you get 9 back, Thoricus, putting you at a nice 24 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Divit also, this is worth noting. The one healing potion that you'd held above the wound of the tree, you see it fall and break upon the harsh bark of the outside of this tree. And as the healing liquid falls, you see it fill the small crack that was wedged in when Brunor the Sea Serpent missed and hacked a piece of the tree out when you all heard the cry from the tree within. And just as you heard this shout in pain as it took the blow before, you almost hear like a sigh of relief from the tree itself, as the healing potion soothes the wound in the tree. And then the other one, we have one more potion, Divit. So do you want to say hi on that? Friend's high?
Yeah, hi,
I like
baby.
my friend's high too. Here we go. Boom. Unfortunately, so Brunor, you're closest on this one. I don't know if you're even missing any hit points, but if so, nope, you're good. So yeah, you see one of these other potions falls upon you. If you recall, like Divit was up there. He didn't know who his friends and who his enemies were. He wasn't really. He was frying so hard from the combination of the Jubu juice and this crazy mind magic. He just threw propane onto the campfire and then blew up basically. And so in this moment, he just kind of like threw it out, let fate decide. In this case, one falls upon you, Thoricus. The other one falls upon Brunor. Splashing Brunor on you're at the tea party. So. Brunor, as you're sitting at this tea party, this shower of wonderful sparks of magic and rainbow-colored energy just spills on you from the sky. If you recall, you're still kind of standing extravagantly with your blade in the air, and so it just washes down on you perfect. And you see even all the 500 fairies that surround this mad tea party that you and Rial are still a part of. All the 500 fairies that were swirling around you guys in that big dome, they've all stopped. And they're all looking extremely intently at the frame of Divit, broken on the ground. And again, all you could feel as the joy of this event drew them all in. The sudden wave of these negative emotions, the fear of Tynna, the concern of Thoricus, is suddenly, changing the mood at the party. So the two of you are now motivated more than ever to remove these stains from your party. Thoricus, what do you do?
I like how you just got them all riled up to kill me again. That was fun. Thank you for doing that.
Once you got some hit points, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, I thought they were just going to forget about that. Maybe
Yeah, you had some hit points.
Well, this is the no pants dance, so I guess let's dance. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where Rial is, correct?
Correct. Rial is successfully hidden beyond your passive perception. You could use an
And as
action
far
to
as-
try to perceive him, but I mean that would be your action.
As far as I know, Divit's in a pile of himself behind me, kind of.
Yeah, you can see Divit. You know, he's actually very close to you. So it's like you look down, you know, near your right boot as it stands on this like crazy electric-colored ground. You look down and you can see just, I mean, you know, almost staring you right in the eyes, this broken, collapsed frame of your friend.
That's creepy. Right. Okay, well then I'm gonna try to take care of the threat. I'm gonna thank you again, Tynna. I'm not sure you're here usually, or I don't know where you are, but wherever you at right now, thank you for bringing Big Papa back. I'm gonna do what I know how to do. Yeah.
Ooh, all right. He
I'm
tried
gonna
it the
slobber
nice
this
way.
time.
All right, so drawing out both the Blightbringer and Lucille the Fury, you know, you're finally like, man, F this. Divit's dead.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on? Snap, you know, you click it together right at that middle at the small, like, engineering marvel that you and Tanara managed to craft together, the combination of your dwarven and elven crafting skills. They lock into place. You know, we hear the song of Thoricus Onyx Heart.
Give it to me, y'all. West Coast Star Wars.
He's like, David's dead, man.
He's dead, man. And yeah, you brace down in your new dual weapon fighting style. You know, you feel the weight of each of the blades. No more Mr. Nice Guy. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna click the ladies together. I'm gonna point straight at Brunor and be like, "Not cool, bro. Not cool. Totally harsh in the buzz."
All right, yeah, give it to me, bud.
I'm gonna
So,
get at
because,
that.
remember, you are marked by Brunor, but because you are attacking Brunor, you're suffering no penalties from that. The mark of a cavalier serves to basically be like, hey, you, fight me. And you're doing that. So the two fighters, the two battle-hardened warriors of the Ferocious Five, you know, you can almost feel the great bard song being written as you set blade, you know, Lucille the Fury against Angelo, blade of the Keeper. And are you doing non-lethal damage? Is your intent?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Am I? I keep hitting it, but it's not going. Try again.
I noticed Roll20 was running a little slow tonight. Nothing against you, Roll20. It's just that everybody's using you because none of us can play in person right now.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to hop in and see if maybe it'll work on my end?
I was gonna say, yeah, dude, I've hit it a bunch of times. It ain't going.
I got you. Yeah. All right. So, are you which side are you swinging with here?
Well, she seems way too happy, so I'm gonna bring a little blight into her life.
A little bit of that blight. All right, here we go. Let's see if it works for me. There we go. Nice, 26 armor class.
That'll
Doing
do.
14 damage. Very nice. Let me make sure you didn't roll 1 or 2. Nope, you good. So yeah, Brunor, you know, as you kind of laugh and still have your extravagant pose, you see this mar, this black spot that, you know, Thoricus looks like in this crazy tea party world that you live in. You see as these two large flashing lights come together, and then the lights start dancing before your eyes, and you let out a big giant smile as one of them just comes right at you. All right, Thoricus, yes, you blast her for 14. Do you want to hit a Blightbringer again, or come back with Lucille?
Yeah, let's switch it up a little bit.
Boom, bringing Lucille, you know, the gem of your long-lost love from the city of Kulmara. You see the shine as you reposition it. And
Good.
27 AC, that's a hit, buddy. 13 more damage, Brunor. You've taken 27 points of damage.
All right. I don't.
So yeah, you know begin
die.
spinning the axes and you land 2 strikes. You see Brunor doesn't even seem to be, you know, attempting to defend herself as you just land easy blows right across the, you know, the chest of her armor.
You like that? Like, is that? Are you enjoying this, Brunor? Like, is that really a thing?
With madness in her eyes, she continues to laugh at you. You know, frothy foam coming out of her mouth from laughing so long. You see her eyes have tears, you know, streaking down the corners of the eyes just from being caught in this crazy fit of maniacal laughter for so long. All right, anything else, Thoricus?
Well, can I use my bonus to follow that up with?
Heck yeah, you can. She marked you, bro. Psh, you can come at. All right, so I forgot I was doing it. So yes, it's as me. Yes, I can. Here's your
I'm
bonus
just trying to knock
action
some sense back
strike.
into my friend.
Boom, 17 armor class. Does that do it, Brunor?
So I think so.
So you know, you've spun these two blades around, and you manage to land twice, and you hold the blade up and you scream in her face. You know, is this funny to you? Is this a joke? And she starts laughing right back. So you take a swing right at her face, and then with lightning reflexes, Angelo, blade of the keeper, just catches the axe right before it strikes her, shedding it away.
Nice. That was a nice deflection. I'm not gonna lie. I am impressed by that.
You gotta respect the game.
Swing, swing!
Game respect game.
All right, anything else, Thoricus?
No. I'm gonna keep my back up against the tree. Maybe I can yell out to Tynna, like, does she know that Rial's behind the tree hiding somewhere?
No one actually, yeah, Rial did well enough. He used his action to hide, and nobody's passive is good enough. You can try to go hunt him out. You know he disappeared somewhere around the back of the tree, but you really have no idea.
Okay.
But you see, you smacked Brunor pretty good, and you kind of see like a little haze behind her eyes. Like, so when it's her turn, she's gonna get a chance to save against this madness again.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. All right. Well, then I'll just sit here and hopefully wait for that to happen.
You know, you set the two-bladed axe before you, kind of learning the new defensive, you know, like, this changes a lot about your flow in battle. Rather than one weight spinning you around, you're kind of balancing the two. And once more, this, like, strange sense of balance is just constant. Like, even the weapon itself, a symbol of balance between the, you know, the Fury, the Lucille the Fury, and the black iron stone of the Blightbringer. So, you passing it to Tynna?
I surely am.
Oh, yeah.
Tynna Smooth Hands. You know, your feet are still kind of standing on the shoreline of this little island. They're kind of deep in this mud. And as the little, like, waves of this purpley silver magical river flow up on the shore, you see little stretches of just silver magic like fish just washing up on the shore and jumping back out into the river as they wash by. You look, you know, near the base of the feet of Thoricus Onyxheart. And there he is, your brother, your relatively newly discovered brother, who you often have had some conflict with recently, but you see him laying there on the ground, neck broken, body not moving. What do you do?
I jump back in, but stomach wrenched. I just saw him right in front of me. I run initially as fast as my feet will plod me over to him. My heavy armor drags me down a little bit, but I run as fast as I can up to him, and I land right up there in between him and Thoricus. And
your heavy metal feet, you know, they dig in pretty heavy to this, like, watery beach, and they leave these little, like, purple scoop footprints behind you. You know, and as with complete abandon, you just start moving forward. You know, your mace almost falls out of your hand. You know, you completely move forward, and you kind of drop to your knees here in front of the corpse of Divit.
And I look at him, and initially I want to heal him. I want to channel Shantia, but I know that I don't have the right resources initially. But I look at his face. I look at his cold face, his dead face, and I see self-destruction. I don't see somebody who wants to be healed.
You hold his body in your arms, and that pious reach that you've started to harness through the power of Shantia, this piety that seems to glow from you, as all those that look upon you see this noble energy, and you feel a complete lack of compassion for this body that lays before you. You remember how often he would grimace and joke about death itself, as if mocking your own power source, this new direction in your life. It's a strange feeling, Tynna. But for the first time, you don't really feel like saving this body. You see his head roll back.
And I feel shame and guilt, but I also am being attacked, or Thoricus is being attacked, and I know that he needs to be healed, so I cast Healing Word on Thoricus.
All right, so you raise your hand almost without even looking at him. You're still, it's like looking at something you've never seen before. Recently, anytime you've looked upon a life, you feel this overwhelming sense to protect or nurture it. And it's like you're again, like they see you as this void in the party. It's that same experience for you in this world of vibrant color. You look down on this vibrant and colorful bard that used to be such a jovial fellow, and that as he has twisted toward this darker end, you find that your love of him too has so been shaped. You look down upon him, and without even looking at Thoricus, you just raise your hand, and you see this burst of holy light just shoot out of your hand, but your eyes stay fixed on Divit's face.
And as I cast it, I feel resentment towards Divit, because I feel almost not a darkness, but a hatred grow within me, because I feel sorrow.
Yes, that when first you had learned of your relationship with Divit, that your father had managed to be rid of him, get him out of Ashbury. You felt this long sense of connection, and at the time he was such a jovial fellow. You remember he would sing great songs, and unfortunately, as your guys' relationship has matured, that connection seems to have been the first victim of this. So yes, channeling that anger, that contentment that you feel, you almost let out a cry as you want to heal. You want to bring him back. You want to bring life to death, as the calling of a life cleric is. But as that energy, you can't bear to give it to Divit, and so you throw it to the side. And it bursts in a great healing light on the chest of Thoricus, Onyx Heart. Go ahead and give him the oh, you did 7. So Thoricus, you just heal thieves left and right, baby. You get another 7 HP.
Nice.
And then I have my bonus action as well still.
No, your bonus action was Healing Word.
Oh,
It's a bonus action spell. So you can cast a cantrip. You can't cast any other leveled spells. I'll give you like that moment with Divit as more of like the 6 seconds of conversation I kind of let you guys have. It was a nice moment. So you still do have your action. You could attack. You can still move. You still have 10 feet of movement left, and you could cast a cantrip. Those would be your options. Or you could assume a defensive position or seek Rial. You could use your action to try to find Rial.
Take his hat. Make sure you take his top hat.
yeah, I want to have a moment here with Divit. I can't do anything further for him right now. And I want to steal his hat. That's a great idea. Thanks. I would like to pocket that and...
Cold-blooded.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I bought it.
Take his wallet.
Okay.
Check out his shoes. Make sure you
No.
get that duster back, though.
No, more of like in a ceremonial way. Like I'm sorry I failed you. I had to make a decision here, and I'm gonna have that little moment with the hat.
She's copping
Okay.
my lid.
Yeah, I'm copping your lid.
Yeah, you see, as his head, like I said, is rolled back, you kind of let your hand scoop around the back of his head, and then you look up and just kind of stand, and his body drops, but in your hand still is the hat that he wears. You see the phoenix feather that adorns it, and you just kind of have it. You have it in your hand. You're still free to do whatever you want, but you hear the broken, already crumbled body of Divit lands on the ground.
All right, after I do that, I'm gonna try to find Rial.
All right, so you're gonna make. I can't really remember what the what your stealth check was from last week, Rial. I apologize. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check, Rial. Tynna, you will be actively perceiving, so go ahead and roll me a perception check. You just have to beat Rial's hide check. Little battle of the.
I'm gonna go ahead and don the cap.
What's that?
I'm gonna go ahead and don the cap,
Okay.
Divit's cap, for a confidence boost, and because I'm feeling a little guilty. More than a little guilty.
Toss it on the top of your dragon skin helmet. Just kind of sets it between
Oh,
the horns.
yeah. Sit on one of the horns.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
hang it on.
Yeah.
All right, so Rial got a 15 on his stealth, so that's your DC to beat Tynna with a perception check. Ooh, double ones! That's the second time in 3 weeks we've had double ones.
How does that
Isn't
happen?
like 1 in 4,000 something? It's
No
crazy.
clue.
I'm gonna smoke to that. It's not a crit, but I'm calling that a crit hit because it was double crit, negative crit once, critical failure. A crit,
Yeah.
a crit is a crit.
Yeah.
And if we don't get no
Snake
toes, if we don't
eyes.
get no toes. Impromptu crit hit, folks. All right. So Tynna, you put the hat on, and it kind of slides off.
Yeah,
and,
this is
it's not
silly.
made to hang hats on. And so as you kind of start walking and you like poke your head over the tree, you see the hat just kind of fall in front of your face. And then you're kind of like stuck in it. It's a little bit on your chin, and it's like getting stuck on the dragon tooth. And you're just kind of fussing with it so much. Then it's just like, stupid Divit, got it now with this hat. And yes.
Even in the afterlife.
Unfortunately, oh no, you did a stealth check. I'm gonna count it, but it would have been a perception check. I'm just gonna count it because it was a double one. We already smoked. But yes,
I'm
you
so
unfortunately are unable to perceive. I think stealth is even worse for you, so it only hurts you. But you rolled 2 1s, so it can't get any worse. Yes, so you kind of look around the tree. Now, Rial, you at the tea party, of course, you ran around to the other side, and as you hid from sight from Thoricus and the shadowy mar at this party that is Thoricus Onyxheart, and the shadowy blurs, the porcelain cup dress stained in oil that is Tynna Smoothhands at your party, you fear for your hat, and so you have actually managed to scramble up the tree a little bit, and you're trying to find a good place to hide it because they want your hat. So yes, as Tynna comes around and kind of, you see her battling with this hat.
They do be
just in her
taking
face.
hats.
You see she's so overwhelmed with emotion that she's just kind of like only half-assedly looking for you, and you're kind of hidden up in the tree. They don't see you. They don't know about your hat. So yes, Tynna, that's the end of your turn. Who's up?
They stealing chapeaus, y'all.
Who hasn't gone?
Actually, just you and Thoricus have gone, so it's the mad ones now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna pass it over to Crazy Rial.
Crazy.
Crazy Rial! Yeah. Crazy Rial today.
So Rial, as I described, you've managed to climb up again. Even in your crazy tea party world, this is a cherry tree. And so it's like, even though you see the ivory floors and the 500 fairies that hang with these very concerned looks on their face at the heavy emotions that they're sensing, it stopped the dance for them entirely. Although the music does still hauntingly permeate the air. You, however, hear a different song as the pulse of the party is driving you. You look around, you look down, and there is Tynna Smoothhands, unaware of your presence in the tree. Rial, what do you do?
By my stars, it's Lady Smoothhands. I thought all hope was lost for her. She might just need a reminder of how wonderful this party is. So from my hiding spot, I take my scone slingshot and shoot a little scone her way. That should turn her right back around and ready to rejoin the party.
Yes. All right, so just make a dexterity attack. So just you are actually proficient in the slingshot, so you'll actually add your proficiency modifier as well. So actually, it would have the same attack as your bow. Just go ahead and attack with your bow, and it'll do different damage though. It does a D4 bludgeoning.
And that was what I envisioned is like Rial does just have the bow, but it ain't no bow in Partyland. It's a stone shooter.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so you pull out an actual, your, what's your bow's name? I forgot.
Ash.
Yeah.
Daughter of Ash.
Daughter of Ash. You pull Daughter of Ash out, and in your fanciful world, it's this big, silly, giant slingshot. You let go. 24 AC, that's a hit. Rial, since you're invisible, that's a sneak attack, too. Let me get sneak attack damage.
Oh.
Oh. Ooh. You guys are going hard on each other. All right, so Tynna, you take 17 damage.
Oh my god!
As you fight with this hat and your stupid feelings for your stupid brother, you kind of let yourself be taken out of the battle for a moment, and then suddenly you feel an arrow just right through the split in your shoulder armor, so perfectly shot. A very proficient archer is Rial, and it just manages to split right in between two plates of armor, piercing your neck. Quite a bit of damage, 17. And that is the. So you look up and you see, kind of like this madman in a tree holding his bow, looking at you, laughing as if you're part of some great joke that you don't quite understand anymore. You remember where you were a little bit. You remember the tea party a bit, so you empathize with what's happening to him right now. You see him in a tree again. It's like you didn't mean to hurt anybody. You were just living in this mad world, and so in that moment you kind of look up. You're like, I shouldn't have let my guard down. Like they're out to kill.
Come back to the party, Smooth Hands, please.
I'm gonna get you out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cunning action hide.
So you see, you're like, I'm gonna get you out of there, and he's like, and he does a backflip into the tree branches. So go ahead and give me a stealth there, Rial. You still have a bit of a move too, so we can say you get pretty high up in them branches. This creepy guy shooting arrows from a tree. 19 stealth. Dang, your stealth is good. You roll a 9. You have plus 10. 19 stealth. So again, that's better than anybody's passive perception. So unless you're actively seeking where Rial is, you do not see him. He disappears into the leaves. You see a couple of the cherry blossom leaves fall down and start getting caught up in that strange wind that just kind of moves everything all around you guys. Rial, if that's the end of your turn, Brunor.
Lady, there's a serpent.
C'est moi? Uh-oh. Well, I've been feeling like something has happened since the last time I had a turn. Something's missing. It's like 20-something damage or something like that.
Yeah, you look down, and one of your beautiful coral spikes is broken. The savage spot managed to hack off the tip of one of your most gorgeous accessories.
You son of a bitch. That is not gnarly. I like this suit. It is made of the coral of my kingdom, Elmira, and I haven't seen it in so long. It's my only memory. So I start to kind of sum up all my strength, and I swing my Knights of the Round Table blade right at Thoricus.
Yes, Brunor, you see the blade
from a tree.
You see, Excalibur itself in your delusion, the gleaming blade with golden, wings that come jet off from either side. And as you move this, you feel connected with your, pure and eternal destiny. While the madness, like the mushrooms turned on you a little bit, you start kind of accessing some deeper thoughts that you don't often talk about. And so, as you bring the blade Angel down, 15 AC, Thoricus?
No, I am a 16, but didn't you say she get to make a saving throw?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, because you took damage. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a save at the end.
I didn't know when it was. I just
sorry.
wanted to make sure
I
that.
said shut
Yes,
up
no,
and I
definitely
swing
remind
again.
me, because I be smoking. Oh, now that second swing, you kind of, again, this is two higher level warriors fighting. This isn't two people with simply weapons. You guys are almost dancing around each other, feinting with a foot, slicing, dodging, weaving, and you see the blades and the double-sided axes. Angerel gleams and strikes, and Brunor blocks with her shell shield. And it's like, even though, yeah, you guys are each getting off 2 attacks, those are just the ones that matter. You guys are actually trading tons of blows as 2 keenly trained warriors and their magical weapons go to work against each other. So with the first strike, Angerel bounces off the dark Blightbringer side of the combined weapon of Thoricus. He then swings it back around and goes to block again, and you feint with your foot and then stab true. And you see Angerel digs about, 2 inches deep into your side, Thoricus, piercing the skin and the side of your armor for 8 damage.
My sciatica.
Excellent.
That uncool, bro. Uncool.
You're the one that is being the most honest of cools, my brethren of the dark marks. How darest thou? How darest thou impugn upon the party of my brethren?
And with that, you look around, Brunor, and you see a lot of the fairies starting to just drift away. As this dance of fairies, all your guests at your party, it's like the guests are kind of awkwardly leaving the party. There's these strange surges of emotions, not nearly as enticing as the warm and wonderful emotions that led them here in the first place. So yeah, do you have anything else that you want to do, Brunor?
Can I follow after fairies like this way?
Yeah,
No,
you
I
can
don't
go
wanna-
any direction. They're all, like I said, it's in this big
Yeah, fuck
50-foot
it, this
circle
is
around
hilarious.
you. So you can be like, wait, my guests, as they kind
Yeah,
of go
I
away.
would be like, my brethren, where are you going?
So yeah, Thoricus, you see, after doing battle with you and swinging, she starts walking away, which gives you an opportunity attack. She leaves your threat range. So Thoricus, you see is, after this stabbing you in the side, with this malicious look, you're worried she's gonna come for the coup de grace, but instead she smiles and then looks up and is like, oh no, and actually pulls the sword out and starts grabbing at these fairies that you can't see floating away.
My brethren, do not leave, please. I need you.
But Thoricus, you get an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you need me to hop in, or is it working for you now?
Dude, it is just not working. I don't get it.
We will we'll get in there and take a look at it after. It's not a problem. Which half? So with your AOO, you only get to pick one of the 2 weapons. So which one do you want to attack with, Lucille or the Blightbringer?
Oh, we'll go with the Blightbringer.
Bringing
again.
that blight, baby. All right. Boom. Here comes the Blightbringer. 11 AC, not good enough. You see as the exposed back. You're looking, like I said, you guys were just engaged in the greatest warrior battle that you've had in quite some time. And then suddenly, the person you're fighting with just stopped and starts walking away and grabbing at fairies as they disappear. And so you see the exposed back of Brunor, but there's a sense of pride that you couldn't. And so even though, yeah, you're going to take the AOO.
I'm not really attacking.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, hey.
Yeah, you kind of, Brunor, you feel like a slight nudge in your back as this double-sided blade, pokes you a little bit. All right. Thoricus, as you see this thing, and Rial is kind of swatting, or not Rial, Brunor is swatting at these butterflies. Rial, you're up in the tree as well, you would notice this. You guys see across the pond as finally the child, just seemingly, kind of wandering beyond this beach here on the north side of the river. Her and Brian, you see Brian look back with one kind of last worried look, but remembering that his task given to him by his master and friend, Brunor, was to protect this child. You see as he kind of looks back and over his shoulder, up ahead at the feet of Esmeralda, she continues walking, and they kind of disappear around a couple trees, this little bend in the road that leads toward the Dryad's Kolt. So you see them disappear. Yeah, and then we switch back, as this crazy battle unfolds, to you, Divit. Again, you feel these waves of magic energy just racking your body. And you feel, even though as your skin starts to decay, you feel yourself growing with a strange power, as if this loss of life and this embrace of undeath has somehow managed to make you stronger. And you look at the withered skin of your body, wrinkled as if you'd aged 1,000 years. The flesh itself so weak that you're convinced if you grabbed it and pulled, it would tear from the bone. You breathe, but you don't have to. You stop breathing. Your body does not want for air. That ping in your stomach, the hunger that always haunted you as a man who enjoyed many late-night bars, is gone. You have no earthly desire for food nor drink. As you now look down upon the wrinkled hands, one skeleton still, your right arm, still skeleton from the elbow to fingertip, the rest of your body seemingly covered in this sagging old skin, like that of a corpse. You look up, the red skull of death staring you in the eyes. You are mine now, Divit. My agent. And there is a task that must be done. You will not die. You will not return to my throne until you have killed Synthesis in all of his forms. And with that, we will come back from intermission.
Oh, God.
What?
Whoo!
Fuck.
Woohoo! I'm super high. I got some really good weed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm higher than I usually am at this juncture.
Whoa.
Whew. All right, man. I'm doing it fast so we can get back to it fast because you guys are the best. So we're gonna take a quick intermission, 10 minutes, please. I know we're go run to the bathroom, but get back here, run back and check. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't skip. Watch the intermission. People are submitting all kinds of incredible Weed&d themed art, and these amazing people. Reza VQ on Twitch chat brought in those great sketches of Thoricus. Vlad Kolinik is doing the whole monster series of Ganjaria. There is incredible art and just wonderful music. Our sound guy, Sandy Stein, makes all our original music for the show. He is an absolute genius of an artist, and we like to highlight some of his newer stuff in the intermission. Don't forget, we're doing a spoopy music giveaway all this month. If you won before, don't worry, you're eligible. Most of these are, I think almost all of them, maybe except for one, are completely new tracks for you guys. So even if you won the old one, don't you worry. You are eligible. Type hashtag WeeDnD in chat, and that will make you eligible. You don't have to be here when we draw it. It's all good. But yeah, just throw that in there, and that will get you submitted. So we are going to take our quick 10-minute rest, get some hit dice back, and then we're going to get back and friggin' find out what all that was about.
I'm nervous. Me too.
So nervous.
Nothing like this. Nothing like
Not
this.
like this.
Like
No.
this, the rest of
Big
the
yikes.
day.
Please not like this.
You guys got the
Lord.
buds, welcome back to WeeDnD. Man, I gotta say, look, I know there's like a show and we're all whatever. I am at my very core one of the biggest D&D nerds you'll ever meet. I have loved this game forever. And man, these past couple weeks, just like, I feel like we're getting to something it gets me excited. So this is not an act. I'm very excited to jump back into this game and keep seeing what's happening. I just wanted everybody to know this is a joy. And for the first time, I was like, man, I just got to get back. We just got to get back to the game. So thank you. I love you guys. All right. So that being said, we're gonna jump right back in. Divit. The red skull mask of death still before you. You see, as he said, you must kill Synthesis in all his forms. You see a skeletal hand touch the red mask, and he pulls it off of his bone face. And you hear the great crack of bone as he literally removes the mask section of his skull. And sitting in front of you is just this void of darkness and the outline of the skull, the top of the head, and the bottom jaw. And so you see as he literally rips his mask off, turns it, and sticks it on your face. You feel as the bone roots into your own skin, as this flaccid and weak skin, that covers your body now kind of stretches as you feel the bone set into your face. Divit, the red mask of death, is no longer removable. Your hands just instinctively go to pull it off your face, and even though you feel the skin stretch as you go to pull the mask away, it pulls back, almost like Jim Carrey in the fantastic film The Mask. It comes back, and you sit back. Death speaks again. You may not return here, Divit. You will see me when the time is right. And you see his skull hand slaps you in the forehead, and as your head shoots back, you feel your body just go limp, as like somebody put you in a catapult and shot you off a huge distance, as once more you cross the great distance between Death's plane and the prime material plane. You feel yourself flying like you did from the temple, in the Mirkwood. You feel yourself flying like you did the first time you visited Death's domain. And just as before, as the streaks of everything, multiple universes, realities, and planes shoot past you, finally in the far distance, you see a cherry tree. You're floating. You look down, you see, skeleton arm, elbow to fingertip. Still the green dragon skin vest made for you by Thoricus, your rather lavish undershirt and belt. It's you. You look, the skin on your arm still saggy like that of a corpse. You see as in certain points it seems like it's starting to tear away, and you can see the underlying muscle and bone underneath, but you feel no pain from it. You see the cherry tree in the distance, and as you slowly move for it, it feels like you're pushing against like a barrier that's trying to keep you out. But the stronger magical force that pushes at your back wins and pushes you through, and once again, you start hearing the song of the Dryad's Kolt. You look down, and just as before, when time had stopped from your great display of insane magical power, rolling really hot on that Jubu Juice chart, your friends and allies, though they're not frozen in time, you see them moving extremely slow. You see Brunor reaching for butterflies as they just disappear at the edge of her fingertips, as her feet draw closer and closer to the purple river that also seems to flow slowly before you. And in this quiet, silent moment, you hover over your body. You look down and your hat is gone, but your crumpled physical form lay there. And as you descend upon it, you slide your arms into the body underneath. You feel as your fingertips, like a glove, slide into your own skin. and you become one with your body again. Sorry, gotta change the map. Divit. You sit up. Your neck is broken, but you quickly reset it with no problem. All four of you hear this. You know, those of you at the Mad Party, you look down and you see Divit still. You know, he doesn't seem marred by this darkness. And those of you that aren't mad, he doesn't necessarily seem marked by this insanity either. And so he sits in this strange middle place between the two of your realities. And Divit, you kind of stand up and look around, and it kind of tickles you how time works now. Like you've accessed such a powerful magic that you know there's an equation, there's a mathematical certainty that allows you to control time. But it's like after a trip when you wake up and you can't quite remember what that big breakthrough that you had was. So you know kind of chuckle to yourself at the way that you used to perceive time after now having bent its power at your hands. And again, you look down, your body looks like a corpse. You have splits of skin where bone protrudes and muscle underneath. Your bones that broke seem to reset without really affecting you. Now, Divit, you do have health still, but as we're homebrewing a version of basically a revenant, if you're under half health, you start regenerating a hit point every turn. And so you see as these wounds kind of start sealing up, but your body and skin still hanging in gray. All of you that see Divit, he's back, hatless, so you see his orange hair, but cross-set is the red mask of death that you've seen appear in moments, but now it seems firmly fixed upon his face. Divit, it's your turn.
All right. So first thing I want to do is stand up, and I look at the like weird hangy flesh on my arm, and I want to pick at it and see if it like hurts or anything.
You kind of down by where your weenus is, you see a particularly saggy flesh gob, and you just, again, still kind of laughing at that time joke, you grab your skin, and it just peels away. And in your fingertips is just a pinch of your own skin and flesh tissue.
All right, then I want to, like, as hard as I can, fling my arm down to try to fling all the skin off of it. Like, just, and then be like, no sleeves.
Sun's out, guns out.
Give me a performance check, Divit.
All right.
This could look really dope, or you could look really silly.
Either way.
I like those odds. So you all see as Divit peels off double 15s. That's a 22. As he peels off a piece of his skin, and you see the muscle tissue underneath in the bone, and he's kind of looking around, seemingly laughing at a joke that you guys didn't quite understand.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
All right. So I like, my neck is still messed up, but I like stand up, kind of like I'm getting picked up, like a coat hanger, And then I like do the thing where I fix my neck, and I check my arm like that, and then I go, I notice that everybody's looking at me, so I fling the skin off my arm, and then with my skeleton hands I flick up my collar, and I'm like, no sleeves. I talk like this now.
With that 22, it works magnificently. You manage just the right amount of force to slide the flesh and muscle off of your arm. Tearing from the flesh that you yourself pulled, it pulls like a melted cheese off your arm. And even though, you kind of cleanly get most of the flesh and the muscle off, the bone itself is still kind of stained in spots with blood and this kind of like black, old, purpley blood, like dried old blood, and some skin tissue that just kind of clung on. After you do it, you say your line and look at everybody. You look at how off balance your other arm is, and you quickly just pull off, the remaining skin between your armpit and your elbow on the other arm. Pop your collar. And then suddenly you hear, ooh. And you look up, and some of those fairies have started to return. So you look up, and what used to be 500 fairies that had fizzled away to about, let's say, 200. Now it's about 300 fairies again, and people are arriving back at the party. Now you see the mad ones. You see their delight that their guests are coming back to their party. You look at your other allies, and you understand that they don't see them. So even you yourself, Divit, are still kind of in this in-between place in these two realities. And even three realities if you think about what's actually here. This tree.
Okay.
Tubular.
So the tree, right? Now that I'm like back in like reality, whatever reality may be, I see that the tree does not have the damage to it that it had before.
Yes.
And I want to cast message on the tree. I think I can, because it might be a creature. It doesn't say humanoid. It made noises.
It did.
Did.
All right. Heck yeah. So using your action, you cast the cantrip. Message. What would you like your message to be?
Yeah. So I just want to to the tree. I want to be like, what's going on?
You hear back. My sister attempts to steal my daughter. That's the end of the message. All right. And in that moment, Divit, as you're looking at the bark of the tree and you hear the voice come back in your mind, you see the bark of the tree peel back, and this gorgeous, elegant woman's face
No!
comes. You don't see ears or anything. It stops, about midway through the face. You see her fine cheekbones and sharp nose, pointed features, but no distinguishing color. Still the color of the bark of this cherry tree. And that's what you see.
Okay. So all right, then for the end of my turn, I yell at the top of my lungs at all four members of my party, and I'm like, enough! We are in the presence of a lady.
You see the two bone skeleton arms, still stained with some dry blood and flesh, as the, still extravagantly dressed Divit before you, even though he is missing his cap, calls all of you to the presence of a great lady. A phrase which works in both of your realities. So, yeah. So that will serve kind of the way that damage does. You guys will get a save at the end of your turn. Which, now that we're back in initiative, Brunor, you technically had the end of your turn when we jumped to Divit. So you still get a chance to save from this madness. And we'll say that kind of this moment is what creates this potential. So how would you like to try to break from the madness?
So I had kind of walked and followed after the fairies, and I turned around, and I had my back to Thoricus, and I felt him kind of jab me with his axe, and he was like, hey, and I turn around because I hear, even though it's this fantastical world with fairies, and I can see all this beautiful rushing, purple, fantastical rivers, my coral's been damaged. I turn around, and I see the face of the mark, the darkness, as it jabs me in the back. And I try to jump backwards into the water, and the water would actually probably most likely help me a little bit. Maybe that's my saving throw. I'm trying to return to what I know.
Yes, magical water, but water nevertheless, and you're a sea elf. So as you kind of look and you see this pulse that kind of vibrates with this intensity that pushes you back. You don't want it to get on you or your gorgeous coral dress. It already destroyed your coral spike, one of your favorites. And so you with like a great smile, kind of dive back and spread your arms open and let the purple magical water wash over you. Because of that, I really like that description. Go ahead and get advantage on your saving throw. DC 15 charisma saving throw. As you feel, it sure feels like water as it starts washing over your skin, and your blue-green sea elf skin kind of absorbs the moisture. Your race legendarily living underwater. However, as you're, kind of laying in, it's not the same. And you feel almost this strange discomfort as you fail your charisma saving throw, getting a 13, and not needing a 15, getting a 13. You are now floating in this river, but you are still quite mad. So that was the end of Brunor's turn. Divit, you were actually the top of this new initiative. So if you have,
and
what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I think in case if you had a move or a bonus action you wanted to do, otherwise you just pick who's next.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And
I'm
because
just
of
gonna...
the way I did that wrong, like describing the time of that. So Brunor, that happened. Your save happened before Divit's turn. So you will still get a save at the end of your next turn from his declaration of being in the presence of a lady.
Tubular!
All right, so I just want to lean up against the tree politely, and then if the tree is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry."
You see,
it's
the
like
face
just leaning
is
on a
unmoving.
counter.
There is just
Right.
now a face. It kind of split through the bark, and it sits there. The eyes unmoving, no life in it. There is, however, just a face in the bark of this kind of white-gray cherry blossom tree. Not peach, cherry blossom.
All right, yeah. So for some reason, I'm much more concerned with this tree person now. So I'm just gonna lean in and prepare to listen or try to communicate with this tree.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of show a respect for the tree as you approach it and kind of touch the branch to see if it has any response. But no, you do see that the face, just this strange wooden face, almost looking as if it was exquisitely carved in the center of the mass of this tree.
All right, so then I look down at my my bone skeleton arm, because the other one has that cool gauntlet thing that Thoricus made me. And I look over at Thoricus and I'm like, "Thoricus, perhaps we will need another dragon penis." And pass it to Thoricus. Pass the initiative to Thoricus.
Well, first, I said the wrong thing the last time. First, it's so good to have you back. I just wanted to say that first. Also,
you're both kind of leaning against the tree.
Your sleeve was not made of dragon penis. Just so you know, it's not. So, but yeah, great to have you back, man. You look terrible. But hey, you're back, and that's the important part. We can fix this. I can make you some all new sleeves. If you even want it out of dragon penis, I got you. But yeah.
Yeah, even Thoricus, as you're kind of talking to him, you're really getting a chance to take the sight in. You can see where around the bone mask, it seems to have affixed to his own skull, and the skin just under the mask kind of hangs and pulls, and so you can kind of see through where the old underface of Divit was, and it's it's a lot more grisly up close than you would think.
Yeah. You should probably lay off the Jubu juice. Just so you know, it's not doing a good thing for you.
Dying totally ruined your trip, bro. You're back to your
Yeah, as a glamour bard, bro, you're gonna have to come up with some hotness for this style of that you're going with. But anyway, yeah, Brunor's in the river. Rial's tee-heeing somewhere around the tree. Tina's good. She brought me back. I'm feeling strong. Let's get us back together, huh? How about we do that? You down?
And I'm just like,
My guy. All right.
You're like, man, this dude just changed.
can I like lean up against him? Like,
Oh yeah, like a buddy cop poster, like yeah. All right, so Thoricus, it is your turn. What are you gonna do?
All right. So, I guess I'm gonna actively look for Rial.
All right, so using your
Because-
action,
Because Brunor's in the river, right?
Brunor is in the river. Yes. You
She's
saw,
not like-
you know, she kind of laughed
She's
at
not
you
like
and dove into the
drowning
water.
or anything, right?
Huh?
She's not like drowning or anything in the
You don't
water.
know. She's underwater.
Motherfucker.
You're pretty
All right.
far away if you want to go look.
I was gonna say she's real far away though.
Now you do know. I mean, you know she's a sea elf, so
She's probably good.
she's usually pretty good in water.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna look for my best friend.
All right.
Yeah,
You-
I've kind of gotten a little distracted seeing what just happened with Divit. I look upon Divit, I'm a little, at first I'm horrified, and then those feelings grow into annoyance somehow, because he even in the afterlife, or the semblance of an afterlife, he maintains this showboatiness.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad I took the hat. I'm glad I have the hat, because that's mine.
You're like,
That's
put
mine.
it in
That's
your bag.
rightfully mine. Thank
Right.
you. And then those feelings fade away, and I'm awestruck at this raw power he's commanding, and I'm
True,
afraid.
Tynna, you thought,
Yeah.
you know, it would be your choice to make, and you made it. You know, you were ready to live with letting him stay dead as a cost of the actions that he'd taken. And through his own power, even he himself has shunned off death somehow. And again, like you speak to, the flair to everything that he does, although yes, it can definitely get under your skin, it's an innate charisma in him that you find yourself fighting to stay mad at him. Now again, I would never speak for your character. You are entitled to feel however you want, but it is definitely, again, you kind of can't help but think about those roses on your shield and the beauty of the bloom when they swell, and then the inevitable moment of death, and how there's a beauty in that too, and that is a part of nature and nurturing and life. It is this balance. And even in this moment, you're keenly aware of Thoricus's weapon, you know, dark on one side, light on the other, and just this reoccurring theme of balance. You, once a trickster cleric, now a cleric of life. It seems that this strange journey you've all been on, the quotes of the Shekinah prophecy, this thing, it's like there is something that is bringing you together, despite your urge, perhaps, to push each other away. And so no one more keenly aware of this than Tynna in this moment, as she looks upon the brother she had allowed to die alive again.
Yeah. So Divit's
when,
back.
when she looks over at me, can I like I have a big cigar and like nobody knows where it came from or how I got it?
Ugh.
It's just like, where is he getting those?
Yeah, it's a magic feature of your mask, Divit. At any point, you can just summon a half a cigar. And it's like kind of bent a little bit, like you smashed it down in an ashtray. But yeah, so
Yes.
you just summon, you know, everybody looks away and they look at you. And it's like, wait, was that there the whole time? And just a smoking stogie in your mouth, looking all cool with your collar popped.
Can I roll for eye roll?
Yes, Tynna, yes. You feel that wave of like, let me forgive this guy. And then he just does something one more time. So you bring out your greatest eye roll. It's not your best. You're again, unfortunately, you know, even though you just kind of, you give him one of these, a little sisterly, one of those, maybe a little shoulder in there, like you get one of those. And so, but yes, that is that's them family interactions, man. It's like we're at Thanksgiving dinner with you guys right now, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. All right, so I believe it's Thoricus. You're giving me your perception check, right? Rial had a pretty hot hide check. You got a 19, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I'll give you advantage. You have best friend potential. You're trying to tap in through your attunement with your Rocky Talkies. You rolled double 19s. What is with all our double rolls today? Is roll 20 like?
Yeah.
You need it. You need this right now. Nice. So only a +3 that you have. You got a 22. You rolled what you needed, and then you got a little in change. So yeah, you're kind of peeking around the tree. You know, whoop, you kind of peek around. And he's not where you thought he would have been. Like, if you were going to swing your axe and try to hit him, you would have thought he'd been right there. And he's not at your first look. And then you kind of, like, channel in, and you hear a little bit of his mad laughter and something about a top hat just ping into your head. And you look up, and then you see him just, like giving himself away by shaking so vibrantly with his own laughter. And he's just looking down on you. You see he's got his bow. Like I said, he's kind of loaded for bear, and he's a pretty scary sight. But you do see your friend and ally up in the tree.
Right. Well, shit. He's like up in the tree, right?
He's
I
like
can't.
up in the tree. He's
Right.
like like a
in the
cat,
tree.
just
Up
up
in the
there.
tree.
Like there's not a fire department, but if there was, they might get it.
You can also hear me cackling from the water as well.
You see bubbles popping up from the river nearby.
All right. Well then, because I have the least amount of knowledge of what the fuck is going on here, I'm gonna ask the one person who just came back from the fucking dead, which doesn't really seem to faze me too much, but I have to assume he probably knows a little bit more than I do about
Yeah,
what
you guys
the
are
fuck.
fighting dragons and stuff. Like
Right.
real life, what you're used to is now much different than it was.
I'm just like,
a
oh,
month
good,
ago.
you're back.
You know, what, werewolf, ghost. You guys have seen some stuff.
Right. So yeah,
Medusa.
the Rial's up in the tree. What do you know about what's going on here? I kicked Brunor into the river. Well, kind of. We were fighting, and then she walked away. I don't know. Anyway, she's in the river. She's fine. And yeah, what is going on, basically? Holler at your boy. Tell me what's up.
My experience was so different, but I believe that they are experiencing a different reality right now.
Okay. Now,
Thoricus.
how do we?
Makes a lot of sense. You know, Tynna smashing you in the face with mace and then bringing you back. You're
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Oh no, we good. All right. Well, how do we fix that? How do we snap back to reality?
Well, killing me did it immediately, so maybe one step less than that.
He's not
Don't-
wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't kill you again. Or the first part of that.
All right, that's about as much combo as you can get in there. Use your action. Do you want to use your bonus action for anything, Thoricus?
Yeah, could I second wind?
Ooh, heck yeah, you can. You're gonna have all the hit points, bro.
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, D10 plus your fighter level, using your bonus action. So this one is your actual, you know, your battle master trained second wind, not the one granted you by the Raka, which you previously
Right.
burned to try to bring Rial out of it. Ooh, nice. So you're level 6 now, so that's 15 more health. Very nice. Rolling a 9 plus 6.
Buraka!
Buraka. So yeah, you kind of, flex your muscles, and you,
Hey,
you know,
wasn't
feel
that
that surge
24?
of battle come through you again. You're like, all right, if it's not 4-on-1, you guys don't stand a chance.
When I signed back in, it reset my hit points. What was I at? Was I at 24?
I believe you would have been at 25, so 15 more, you'd be at 40.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to log him out to get it where his abilities would work. So
Weird.
yeah. So
Yeah, no.
yeah,
So,
like I
yeah,
said,
here we go.
everybody and their mom is playing on Roll20, which is great. I love it. I'm so happy that everybody's playing D&D. It literally warms the cockles of my heart. But it does make, and I'm running music and there's some effects. Like I'm asking a lot of this free online tabletop, and so thank you, Roll20. Not a sponsor. But we could
But
do
could
that.
But
be.
thank you nonetheless.
We could do that.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Pretty-
that would be the. I mean, you have a move still, if you were inclined to use your move.
No,
Climbing the
I-
tree would be a bit of a thing. Like that would be a little bit of an athletics check.
I mean, I can. I guess I'll try to climb up a little bit. Maybe not all the way up.
Okay. Well, actually, I mean, you can. Yeah, just give me an athletics check. It's pretty easy, DC. Just like a 10. You're climbing a tree. And you're an extremely strong man. You can almost just like and just like jump your way up the stump like a bobcat.
I rolled a
You got a 10.
Jump
That's good
the
enough.
stump.
That was the DC. So yeah, you do move. It's difficult terrain, so you move half your speed, unless you have that 1 feet. So yeah, you get what do you have? 25. So you actually only get you don't get the benefit of the split there.
Ah.
You'd only get 10 feet up the tree. But it's the tree's not that big. I'd say you're probably about 10 feet away from Rial, who's still just kind of looking down at you, laughing.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna like I'm talking to a wild animal that I'm trying to rescue. Be like, it's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
You're like doing that
I'm
thing where
I'm
you're like,
climbing
hey,
up
hey.
to take care of you, okay?
But behind you is like your axe a little bit. You're like
Right.
ready if I have to. All right. So yeah. So Thoricus is now in the tree as well. Who's up, buddy?
I'm gonna go with Little Miss Smoothie.
Ooh.
Oh,
Smoothie.
Smoothie
Oh,
herself.
smoothie herself.
Oh,
All right.
So Tynna,
Well-
you're ending the eye roll. You just finished your shrug, and you look over, and yeah, you see Thoricus kind of climbing up into the tree as Divit just kind of leans against the tree, talking to him casually. But yeah, you do hear him say that killing him did help, so that maybe hurting them might help pop them out of it as well.
As
Yes.
I'm calling Rial down, can I just off to the side to Tina be like, not your best eye roll?
Okay. I've had better. I realize. So.
The tree is not the only shady thing in here.
Ooh, you get advantage because of the tree shade.
Wow. Okay,
Oof.
so Thoricus is up the tree as well.
Yeah,
A
he's up
little
about 10 feet.
little bit.
You don't see Rial unless you actively. He did manage to hide from you. So you're kind of like looking up in the tree. Remember, he did a backflip and disappeared. You did see Brunor go off to the river and jump in. And you see a bunch of bubbles popping up, and it's like as they pop above the water, you can hear like laughs that were trapped in the bubble.
Do either of them have like attack of opportunities on me if I weren't to take hits on them?
No, you are not in anybody's threat range.
Okay, because I want to. So I take a minute and I look around and I notice this strange nature around me. It is nature. It's odd nature, but it is indeed nature, and I do feel somewhat connected to it. And there is a weird magic in the air, but it is still magic, and I feel somewhat connected to it. And I look at the tree in front of me, and the face is still exposed, correct?
Correct.
All right, so I step forward and I feel a somewhat sacred energy hanging in the air. And if I may, I'd like to cast augury as a ritual.
All right, so the ritual casting of it would actually take 10 minutes. So if you want to cast it, you would have to, you'd actually have to burn the spell slot this time. What is
Okay,
the
that's
casting
fine.
time?
1 minute.
All right, so that would be 10 rounds of battle, just so you know.
I think it's worth it.
Okay, so Tynna, again, you kind of look around on the extreme vibrancy of all the colors of this nature. This is how an artist would paint, in a world of endless color. The hues of everything, they smear almost like paint. There's a magic just to every single thing and every color in this place. And the colors feel more like emotions than they ever have before. As you look upon the purple, you feel emotions drawn to that color purple. You feel regal for a moment. You feel sorrowful. You look around at the gray tree bark on the tree in front of you, and in that gray stillness, you see that same essence that you're took a moment to admire in Divit itself. This tree, it sits alone in a clearing on an island with rivers on either side. And it has survived by itself, disconnected from all this life that surrounds it. And so you kind of look at the eyes of the fine-featured face that sticks out of the tree, and you take both of your hands and you just kind of set them on the sides of her face. And then you see as the bark of the tree starts covering your hands as you begin to cast the augury. So Tynna, for the next minute, you're focused on casting the spell. You know, you guys all kind of look over at Tynna and you see that pulsating brightness that tends to, gleam from her in these heroic magical moments. You see it in its infancy, just the shining pulse of light that kind of starts emanating from right in front of her chest between the tree as her hands seem to become one with the side of the tree. Not in a violent, it's not snatching her, bringing her in, but it's almost as if her own fingertips were interlocking with yours, and you feel the grain of the wood in between each of your fingers, and you just close your eyes, and you begin trying to channel Shantia, the knowledge of Shantia, the advice of Shantia through.
I remember how she told me how wood is sacred and how versatile wood is and how natural it is and how essential wood is as a material. And I connect to this tree.
Heck yeah, you do. So for 1 minute, little smoothie, you are enraged. You're engaged in this basically very personal, extreme connection between you and this tree. We will touch in on it from time to time and what it means. But that would be the end of your turn. So go ahead and think. We don't have to ask. Like I said, this is going to take about a minute. So if you want to think about what question you would like to ask, remember the wheel is good results, the woe is bad results. Wheel and woe for good and bad, or nothing for if it doesn't they aren't really good or bad. So you have these rounds to contemplate what question you would like to ask this seemingly very strong, resilient, powerful creature. But who's up next?
Can I pass it to the tree?
She doesn't have an initiative order. Right now, it would be between Brunor or Rial.
Brunor.
So, yeah, unfortunately, you weren't able to use the water to rinse the madness from you, but you are in your element once again, and you feel, although it's not your favorite water, it's certainly water, and your coral shines, better than ever as the silver streaks of magic wash across your breastplate. And so, yeah, Brunor, you're floating there in the water. What do you do?
So I am going to, I've been swimming around this whole time. I've been swimming around in my element, just having fun. It's not making me feel any different, but it is definitely much better than standing. Way more fun. In fact, I kind of stop and make so my feet in like the deepest part that I can find of this part of the river here, and I make it so that I can kind of get on my feet and then still be underwater. And I kind of watch my hair because the water doesn't feel too special or anything. It just kind of makes my hair float, and it feels like it's also my body temperature. So it's almost like I feel nothing at all. Still just nothing. And that's all I kind of want.
So yes, the intense pressure of throwing this party for all of your guests, the heartbreak of watching them leave and then watching new ones return as if your heart wasn't broken in the moment, and you swear they all saw that your fine coral was broken. And so rather than deal with the intense pressure of putting on this grand ball, the great tea party that you are one of the many hosts of, you, like an anchor, you let the air out of your lungs. And with the air out, you sink to the bottom of the river. at the deepest point in the center of these 2 points, pretty deep, probably about 10 feet deep in this particular area, kind of carved out as if perhaps by magic out of the surrounding earth. So you float deeper than you think you would to where the water around you actually cools 1 degree, so it feels like it's 1 degree off of nothing. And that can be in either direction you like. And your feet sink into the mud.
And I would like to cast Second Wind.
Nice. So you fill your lungs and breathe in with and you draw in this purple water into your lungs, and that gives you your surge of second wind. So you get a D10 plus your fighter level hit points back. So D10 plus 6. Nice. You're rolling hot. 16. You rolled a 10. That's as good as you can do. So 16 health back to you, Brunor, as you float and just let the current of this, it still moves like the water of the normal world, but it just has these little extra accents and flows and streaks of color to it. Your hair itself kind of seemingly floating around you as well.
Excellent.
And as that surge fills you, a little bit of that water fills your brain, and you get an opportunity to make another saving throw against the effects of this madness. You remember the shout of the man with skeleton arms. You remember the face of the dark spot looking at you. All these things kind of surge into your mind. And and because you decided to embrace the water, you also get advantage of DC 15 charisma saving throw.
Charisma. Why? Good luck, little buddy.
Oh, she can't do it with a 12 and a 4.
Stay down here. It's okay.
You laugh, you kind of breathe the water around you, and you just sit there like an anchor at the bottom of the ground, holding on to the reality around you, basking in the comfort of being away from the party for a while. Perhaps the guests aren't even concerned. And you kind of just are floating in the water, Brunor. So Rial, Rial, you're up. You look down. You see him coming for you, buddy. What are you gonna do?
How did this party go so wrong? Everything was perfect. The party was perfect. I need advice. I need your face. I need my best advisor. I need someone to tell me what to do.
All right, so are you using...
I cast Find Familiar, actually.
What was that? Oh, of course. It's the magic of the Feywild.
Find familiar.
There we go. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, you're back.
So I cast Find Familiar, a skill I seem to have even though I'm out of my goddamn mind.
Yes, you're the only one seemingly left at this party right now, other than the fairies you see kind of regathering around you, but none of your other hosts are there. So yeah, go ahead and cast it, bro. You call upon Kindly the cat. Sorry, I don't even have his token ready because I'm bad DM. Let me go to the loading page. Boom. Sorry. There we go. And so you manifest, you call to the magical ethers for your friend and ally, Kindly the cat, the one good thing that you can remember from your 7 years of imprisonment in Urgon's laboratory. And so as you summon the magic, even still at the tea party, you see the magic that you're using, this transmutation, enchantment, summoning magic, it's drawing more fairies. You see more of them are kind of returning. You're up to about 400 now. And they even start the dance slowly again. Not as fast, it's not as intense, but they're slowly now, like a soft, cool breeze. 400 fairies start dancing around you. And so you see appear from the ether, your friend and ally, Kindly the cat with galaxy eyes and 2 puffy tails. You see as he, you look down on him, and he's in a little tuxedo, and he's got like a little tiny top hat of his own, because of course, you would give him a costume for the ball. And so he steps out, you see sticking out from his tuxedo coattails, his 2 tails, puff up as the two coattails fall down, creating a nice little thing that he's got going on. And as he looks up at you with his galaxy eyes, you see he's got a monocle, bloop, poked into one eye, and the glass is reflecting the spinning galaxies inside, so it looks like there's two galaxies right there. And he looks you in the eyes, and with a magic and a connection that only you and he have, he reaches deep into your mind. He gives you that was a great idea, Rial. He gives you an immediate saving throw against this madness.
Oh, my dear friend. Oh, dressed to the nines like all of your lives.
Yo, actually, I'm sorry. The casting time of Find Familiar is an hour. I didn't realize that. So unfortunately, you can't do that. Unless you want to do kind of like what Tynna is doing, where you just decide that for the next hour, you're going to that's what you're going to do.
Yes.
But it is an hour.
Yes, of course. Yes. I'll take all the time I need. I need help. I need to know how to save this party.
All right. So
I'm
Thoricus,
all that's left.
Thoricus, you look up in the tree. You're still just kind of got your eyes on best friend, and you see Rial kind of looking down at you guys, and then he just sits cross-legged on this tree branch in a way only somebody so dexterous with such fine balance as he could do. And you see he starts petting an imaginary cat. There's nothing there, but you see him going, and he's flicking his hands off to either side. So you've seen him before. It's as if he's petting kindly, but there's nothing there. And he's smiling, just looking around haha, he's got it figured out. He knows the answer. And he's petting this invisible cat. Being sure to mind where his top hat will be.
Well, sure. Is Divit... Does Divit still look like a big purple invisible cat, or what?
He does not anymore. He's still
Okay,
he's
good.
got
Just wanted to
he's got
be
skeleton
sure.
arms and a popped collar right now.
Oh yeah, no, he's big pimping, spending G's. I get it. I just wanted to make sure because I would have been like, that's weird. It's like an innuendo.
No, that's my favorite thing about the cat thing with Divot is no one in the universe saw it happen.
Yeah.
Time stopped. So nobody saw that, but you, Divot. You're the only one that ever knows that you turned into a giant cat. Yeah, just you and the buds. Just we know. But yeah, no, Divot's returned to his his new kind of style that he's got going on. That he's
that
totally
The new
rocking.
normal.
Yeah. Well, it's not my turn.
Actually, yeah, Rial. It's the end of your turn, Rial. So you will get. Did you
Oh.
get your? So yeah, you're casting your spell. That's right. Man, your concentration's on that. I'm gonna make this 50-50. I think it's only fair. Low, you don't. High, you do. So yeah, you do. You're gonna get your saving throw anyway. So perhaps
Really?
this madness will fade. People have made attempts. I mean, Thoricus used his entire turn. Tynna's using her turn to contact with you. So yes, make one more charisma 15 DC 15 charisma saving throw.
Oh, okie dokie.
I'm still thinking about Kylie in a tuxedo. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Artists, somebody do that for me. Give me Kylie
need
in
a
a tuxedo.
Yeah, please.
Oh, he failed. So yeah,
Oh.
you're too focused on bringing your favorite party guest. Kindly in the tuxedo is going to bring this whole party together. His little top hat, you had it fitted perfect for him, and so you decide to sit contently cross-legged in the tree, summoning your right now invisible cat. So Rial, who's up? It's a completely fresh round of initiative.
are we at top of initiative?
We are top of initiative.
Oh, interesting. How about Divot?
All right.
Can you please stop this, please?
All right. I'm looking at what's going on around me, and I see that Tynna is concentrating, and I see that Rial is I guess I don't see Rial. My bad. Right.
No, he's not hiding anymore. He's sitting cross-legged at the tree. You can see him. Yeah, he's not hiding anymore.
Up there.
He's just sitting there petting an imaginary cat.
Okay.
In a tuxedo.
All right, so they're both preoccupied, and yeah, tuxedo cat.
Tuxedo cat!
Thoricus and I both have our wits about us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I look over at Thoricus and I like fake roll up my sleeves that don't exist.
Yes. Where your
and
flesh used to be.
Yeah, and I start walking over towards Brunor.
All right, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah, you can get right up to this beach. Yeah. You can actually get all the way up to where you can see her. You know, you look down. Like we have said, she's 10 feet down. So you look down, and at first, you know, you're looking through the purple water and these streaks of silver magic passing through, and then you see a couple bubbles. You hear some laughter.
All right.
And so you kind of look down, and what you thought was just some sea bush is the hair of Brunor just flowing in the river.
Hi, sea bush.
Oh, Jesus. I knew it.
All right. So I want to reach down with my skeleton hand and grab her by the hand and pull her up, and then like her to skeleton face. I want to be like, sister, snap out of this ridiculousness and laugh about something that's really funny.
So again, as you kind of reach into the water, Divit, you realize you don't need to breathe. You're used to holding your breath when you're going underwater, and as you reach down, you're like, I will use my last of my breath in my lungs to scream these words to her. You go to talk, and the words just start coming out as if you were on dry land. The wind that goes through your lungs is nothing more than a novelty for which you could use to play an instrument, perhaps, but you have no longer the need of breath to stay alive. And you kind of reach down, and yeah, I'm gonna, Brunor, you get another saving throw from Divit with this, with advantage.
God bless.
Man, a 2 and a 10 just cannot do it. So yeah.
Can I burn an inspiration point to try to help her?
Ooh, yeah, you can. So what you could do, I will allow you, if you just want to give her mechanical advantage, she would get to make that save again.
Okay, so I see that it's not working, and then I just fly harder. Like when Superman starts going faster, I'm just like, ugh!
Yeah, you see the water kind of ripples around you as you try to channel into her once more. All right, Brunor, maybe third time's the charm, baby. 16! She did it! Brunor, the vibrations through the water are so unnatural to anything you've ever experienced in the calm, you know, the lovely feeling of being underwater. And you feel as these kind of sonic vibrations that emanate from just the sheer intensity of the persona of Divit. As he reaches down underwater, seemingly talking to you without need of air, the sight itself, the glowing magic of his spirit, cuts through the strange madness. You remember his crumpled frame that you saw before you went into the water. You remember the fight, swinging against... No, could it be Thoricus? Yes, you fought Thoricus, your friend. You buried your blade in his side, and he struck you as well. You look around. Where the F am I? You're like, and you look up, and you reach out, and well, you have the opportunity. It's up to you what you do, but Divit is reaching his skeleton arm down to you. And he's like, do you trust me? I'm kidding. He doesn't say
Yeah, I'm like, all is forgiven in madness. We must gather ourselves.
Just, and then I do the predator on his forearm. And it's the most impressive thing I've ever done in my entire life.
And I'm not super strong, but can I like try to help pull you out of the water and throw you towards Rial?
Well, listen, I'll help you. I'll help you with my little kicky legs, because I do like to swim. Anything to make you look better, my brother. So yeah, so go boop, 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 boop. So it makes you look really cool. So we can use...
you know, in a sweet epic, you know, you're freshly back from the dead. You expend this big bolt of your, energy, and you reach down, and as she kind of forces with her legs, you kind of pull her like a fish out of the water. And then she kind of does a little half flip in the air and lands on the shore. Thoricus, for a moment, you look over at her. The madness is gone. And you see she looks at you with a little guilt. Sorry about that.
And I'd like to pass her initiative as well.
Good.
Brunor, you're up. So here's, Brunor, you haven't been on the land in a little while, so you kind of see this strange spectacle of sorts. You look up in the tree, and you see Rial, every now and again adjusting his own top hat, and then petting this cat that isn't there. But you see his fingertips are starting to glow with the magic that you've seen him access before, his arcane magic, his arcane trickster skills. And so you see as these like little tips of blue energy at the end of his fingers start kind of materializing. And as he pets, he leaves these small individual strands of blue light, as if he's like 3D printing Kindly the cat, basically, with magic. And so you see that. You also kind of like look over to the other side of the tree, and you see Tynna, her hands, up to basically her knuckles, have fused with this tree. You don't really see the face from where you are, but you see like her arms are kind of like part of this tree. And then you see Thoricus climbing the tree that Rial is in, and Divit with, standing next to you.
Bodacious. All right. So I actually would like to take a look around and see where Brian is, because I haven't heard him get mentioned yet.
You turn. Where last you saw him across the riverbank here, some time has passed, and both he and the child Esmeralda have continued on toward the Dryad's Kolt. When last, I believe it was Rial saw her, she had turned around behind a tree and continued on the path toward the Dryad's Kolt, where the big bolt of energy that, summoned this strange magic seemed to emanate from.
Okay. Can I I kind of give like a look to Thoricus as like a sorry, bro, Sidon.
Bro, Sidon. All is forgiven. We're so good.
Excellent.
It was so great.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. All right, righteous. Okay. And then I want to walk over to the tree, and I want to start going pss, 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 towards to see if I can, like, maybe break Rial out of his thing, or like contact Kindly, because if Kindly's like really happening there somewhere, Kindly knows us to some degree. So I'd love to, and I have animal handling, and I don't know if that helps because he is like of another place, but I would love to just be like to Kindly to be like to bring him down.
All right, so you try to reach out basically to either get the attention of Kindly the cat, or kind of get the attention of Rial in this moment. Again, you're using your action to do so. So Rial, go ahead. DC 15 charisma save. Let's see if this throws you off your game a little bit.
He's such a dapper cat, though.
You
What out?
18, there it is. All right,
Spitting
so
fire!
Rial, you're looking down as you're, kind of summoning these streaks of the cat. And then you get a little flash in your head, and you start hearing the laughter of Urga. You haven't heard it in a long time, but you would know it anywhere. The twisted
that guy.
and booming laugh that filled your mind for so long as you ran away. Divit. You look up and you see Rial stop, his magic still kind of suspending in his hand, his eyes seemingly lost and far away. The smile fades. You look up at him, and you hear a faint heartbeat. Doot, 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 doot. And you know that you must kill Rial. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys.
I don't
Well,
think
fine.
Oh,
just hurt my feelings.
Great.
son.
Sure.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna be back.
Boy. Oh.
You fucked up, dude.
Great.
Wow.
If you don't want to be friends, I don't know why you have to get on the internet and just do
Great.
stuff like that.
Just fine.
I'm gonna smoke about it.
I'm gonna
Great.
spend. Yeah, let's smoke. Let's smoke.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
Absolutely, excuse me.
Absolutely excuse me. Absolutely excuse me.
You guys don't know what it's like. My friends, I spend the next 6 days convincing them to be my friends still, and then on the 7th day, they all agree to do this show every week. So I feel like I'm gonna have to fight a little extra hard. I probably have disadvantage on all my checks.
Damn.
But ooh, I got them chills. That was some good D&D, baby. I love it. I love you guys. I love this.
Yeah.
I love the
That
buds. I love the
Oh,
vibes.
yeah.
I love specifically our community is super welcoming and warm and awesome to all the new people that come up. And I just want to say that it is so fucking cool and rare on the internet to have a cool place where people can all just come and have a good time. And that means the world to us to facilitate that kind of experience. So the D&D was good, the weed was good, my friends are good, the show, hopefully you enjoyed. But I'm feeling fantastic. Hopefully we could share some of our light with you guys in these kind of weird times. We fucking love you guys. We like to close things the same way we start them around here. So take that little lighter. Again, in pizza we crust. How cute is she? You're going to hold that bad boy up. And ceremoniously, we like to go. Lighters up. Thank you so much for playing D&D with us, guys. We'll see you next week.
We love you.
Love you, buds.
We love you, buds.
Abby's here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Abby's here though.
Damn, Abby's so
Abby's
good.
that haircut, girl. Ooh. Damn. Look at you, girl. Breaking the internet.
Star of the show.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.